If I had to say so myself, it appears that the plan is going as intended. Square Enix is really about it. They've looked at this whole exclusivity thing and it doesn't work for them. Now, it may work for other publishers, it may work for other developers, but Square Enix is not seeing that. They've decided that they're going to stick with their plan to basically move their games to as many platforms as possible. I see a lot of, folk talking about the exclusivity paradigm. It's waning and it's dying. Actually, it's kind of dead already, but you're going to see this carrot on a stick get dangled for a lot of the people who are not necessarily paying attention and not weighing a lot of what the stakes are. But by and large, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you that there is a high level of confidence that you can exert, and you'll see that this whole exclusivity thing is basically a ruse. When it comes down to all of what is that we've been talking about when it comes to the whole industry changing, it just makes sense right now that the biggest and the heaviest hitters are the people who can push, software sales rather than even just the hardware sales. Nintendo, its core aspect of its own gaming is the way it can push a lot of software. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the last statistics that we had was pushing about 70 million copies in terms of sale. I mean, if you go to any store, online, eBay, whatever, Nintendo games usually maintain a high price overall. So it's not something like, oh, maybe the game had gone on sale for so many years and was deeply discounted. Yes, it was discounted, but these sales numbers are heavy hitting numbers. If anybody was paying attention all this while, they would have understood that Nintendo was thriving simply by selling software. And it wasn't necessarily about just the hardware, because at the end of the day, get your software into the hands of people who can play it, and you will find out that if they like it, if they look forward to it, they're going to do the exact same. And Square Enix has finally woken up. Everybody is talking about Astro Bot winning Game of the Year. Congratulations to the team. Congratulations to Black Myth Wukong for winning Action Game of the Year. But Black Myth Wukong is a very, very wonderful example of exactly how availability can change your life. Availability can change your game. Look at the developers on PC and, basically in their own region, going ahead to sell tons and tons of copies of their game. I can't stress how big this particular incident actually is overall when it comes down to it. You really got to put it in perspective and you got to line it all up to be able to make it make sense. The PC requirements are here, and I think they're actually quite fair. Look at this. 30 FPS, i5 1400, and i3 8100, and RTX 2060. They're fair for today's modern standards, I have to say. Because honestly, this is insane. This is absolutely, maddening when you think about it. The GPU memory of 12 gigs or greater is recommended if a 4K monitor is used, graphics card supporting shader model 6.6, or a later version of OS supporting DirectX 12 Ultimate required. These requirements are quite high. But again, the world is like an open area in a sense, and we've seen that these Final Fantasy games are kind of interesting on PC. Then you got 60 FPS 1080 medium. You can just basically rock yourself an i7 8700. These are older SKUs. A Ryzen 5 5500. Now you can call this an older SKU. And then an RX 6700 XT to be able to get 1080 at medium, or a GeForce RTX 2070. That's weird. A 6700 XT and an RTX 2070? That's a strange combination. I guess the 6700 X is probably on the top end, the 2070 on the lower end, depending on how you look at it in terms of rasterization. And then if you want to go ultra, you got to go with the 4080 or the 7900 XTX. Okay. I guess we'll see how it runs and how it plays. And I guess we can also see some 4070 comparisons as well, so that we can probably see if the PlayStation 5 Pro can render as good as the 4070. This will be a very interesting one to go ahead and see. However, the optimization looks really weird at the end of the day. Again, different parameters, different strokes, different folks, and all of the above. So what this PC paradigm is telling everyone now is, if we were to apply the same standard to what PlayStation players have been saying, is you don't need a PlayStation to play PlayStation games. The final piece of the puzzle, and I've been waiting for this for a long time, was recently announced, which is The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster. TLOU 2 Remaster coming to PC. I thought this was one that was going to be very weird. I thought, we may never see it. I thought they were going to just go ahead and say, we're going to go ahead and forget, what is going on, blah, blah, blah. But apparently the talk of the town was that this thing was ready for a long time. It says basically on this Reddit post, The Last of Us Part 2 remaster on PC has been ready for at least 7 months, it is claimed. This was about 6 months ago. I think they were putting it aside just to probably not overwhelm the PC audience with the dump of games, pretty much. June 5th, basically, IGN was also reporting this, and you can come online and you can pretty much see this exact same report. And people were basically talking about, how this was already a thing. Now, am I going to play it? I've been told not to bother playing it. I'm a TLOU fan, the original one. I played that game. I enjoyed it. I think I played it twice. And the second time I played it just so that I could have the footage, it's somewhere in my, file somewhere. I can't just find it. But I really did enjoy the game. So a PC version of TLOU 1 has come out and TLOU 2, but I didn't buy them because I already beat TLOU 1. TLOU 2 is going to come out, and whoever wants to play it is going to get the opportunity to play it. This is exactly what gaming is going to become. This whole talk about exclusivity, throw it out the window. I looked at Naughty Dog's game today, and I said to myself, oh, it's going to come to PC. That's literally what I said. When I blurted it out, I was like, bro, you have a place. I had to actually catch myself and say, dude, you have a PlayStation. Like, if you really want to play the game, you can definitely play it. Now, Wolverine is probably one of the games that'll make me fire up my PS. Like, my gosh, if it's good. Don't get me wrong. If they go and do the nonsense they did with Marvel Spider-Man 2, I am going to drop them like a bad habit. They better not make my superhero look like crap, and they better not make his, his heroes or anti-heroes, basically they better not sideline them. They sidelined Silver Sable in Spider-Man 2. They sidelined Yuri. They basically made her this, I'm going to fight with Spider-Man. And then they sidelined Black Cat when they could have all come in to actually represent and actually deal with Kraven. Did y'all see how they did Catwoman in Arkham? Did you see how they actually brought her front and center as, this accomplice to what was going on? That's what I was expecting they were going to do with these other characters in Spider-Man 2. Yet they gave MJ a zapper gun. Different story for a different day. But I thought they dropped the ball. They didn't drop the ball. They dropped 1, 2, 3, many of them all over the place in the way they iterated in Marvel Spider-Man 2. That's my biggest gripe with the game. And I didn't even beat it. I literally played it about 80%. And when I saw that there was going to be 1 more MJ or 3 more MJ missions, I said, nah, bro. The game is still literally sitting in my... Where did I put the game? I think I put it on my desk the other day. And I was like, I can't do it anymore. Like, I really could not, again, what fans are looking for is that their heroes, their characters and anti-heroes be those things. It's like going in and taking, say, Vicky Vale and then just make her like this, beast of a character to do work that Catwoman can do, Poison Ivy could do, Harley Quinn could do. Right? Instead of actually just basically using those characters in the Spider-Man game, they dropped the ball. But again, like I said, a video for a different time. But we are in a different time in gaming. It's very interesting to see all of this. And I look forward to seeing how, these companies are going to continue to thrive with, without exclusivity. They'll be forced now to actually make their games appeal to their fans more than anything else, rather than just, depend on PlayStation giving you $100 or $200 million and then you can sit pretty, which, it's a risk aversion in a sense, but, your fans are expecting a lot more from you. Talk to me in the comment section. Hopefully we can talk pretty soon. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Peace out.